Let us look at the provision of Article 28, paragraph 3 of the India-USA Treaty. What this provides is that, irrespective of what is there in paragraph 1 or paragraph 2, the requested country shall not be under an obligation to carry out certain measures which are listed in this particular paragraph. In no case, which means under any circumstances, shall the provision of paragraph 1, which is imposing an obligation on the state to share information, be construed, be interpreted so as to impose on a contracting state the obligation, right? So while paragraph 1 provides that it's mandatory for a contracting state to share requested information if certain information conditions are satisfied, right? These obligations will not apply in the following cases: to carry out administrative measures at variance with the laws and administrative practice of that or of the other contracting state. Now, if under the laws of, let's say for example, US, they cannot enforce or they cannot seek information which is being requested by the other contracting state, which is India, right? Or for that matter, if under the Indian laws, India itself cannot seek such information from the taxpayer, then the US government is also not under an obligation to take up any administrative measures which fall under either of these two categories. To supply information which is not obtainable under the laws or in the normal course of administration of that or of the other contracting state. There is no obligation on United States to provide any information which is not obtainable under their laws, right? Or in the normal course of administration of either their or Indian laws. And the third, to supply information which would disclose any trade, business, industrial, commercial, or professional secret or trade process, or the information the disclosure of which would be contrary to public policy. Now, every country wants that, let's say for example, if we take about US, they would want that if there is a company which is operating in the United States, it has certain trade or business or any of these processes or secrets, which gives it a competitive edge over other competitors, right? And it believes that sharing this information may not be in the best of the interest of such company, right? It can actually not be obligated to provide information relating to those trade, business, or other secrets, or any information which US believes is contrary to the public policy will not be shared under the provision of Article 28. It's a different matter that, let's say for example, this information was trade secret maybe 10 years ago, right? But now when the assessment is happening, or when some form of a tax scrutiny is being done, this information is no longer secret, or that trade process is no longer secret. In such a case, they can still consider sharing it. But if at the time when the information is being requested, these conditions are applicable, then they are not under an obligation to share that information. So the contracting state is not obliged to carry out administrative measures at variance with the laws of either state, supply information which is not obtainable under normal course of law of either of the state, supply information which would disclose any trade or business secret, share information which is contrary to the public policy. However, one thing you need to note is that even if these conditions are applicable, in case a country really wants to share certain information on a voluntary basis, it is not prohibited.